So hey there everybody, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I for sure did. My daughter who lives in Milwaukee was here with her husband for over a week. My other daughter who lives here in our hometown and her husband, we got to see them over and over. We got together with family. We are stuffed with so much good food. And of course, we had a wonderful Christmas, all the gifts. And I got to tell you, my family nailed it. They nailed my Christmas list. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what my daughters and my husband got me for Christmas. I'm also going to show you what we got my husband because he got some really fantastic gifts, and also tell you some funny stories and things that happened over the holidays. There is a pee in your pants moment that I cannot wait to tell you about. But starting off, you're probably thinking, Renee, we never see you in a hoodie. Y'all, it is 23 degrees here today with a wind chill that feels like 12. I am literally freezing. I had to go out to the grocery store this morning and I have a nail appointment this afternoon, so I had to bundle up. So when I got in my closet, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear? And I pulled out my favorite hoodie. I actually got this last winter and wore it so often when it was really cold that I bought it in a couple more colors last year. So today, perfect. I just whipped them all out, threw them in the washing machine because they've been hanging in my closet all winter. But just look at these colors. I have gray, black, and pink in this gorgeous ink blue. But I love this hoodie because of the zippers that are along the edge here. They have these huge, really chunky, kind of thick and heavy zippers, so you can unzip the side or zip the side as much as you want to kind of give it a little more flowy look or a fitted look. And the hood is not too big, so I can deal with it. I typically don't wear hoodies because I got a lot of hair. The hood gets up in the hair, but this one is really good. And if you see a little peak of white hanging out here, I do have on kind of an oversized long sleeve bamboo style t-shirt, so it's hanging out a little bit under the hoodie. I just have on leggings and tennis shoes, and when I went to the grocery, I threw on a vest and my brand new gloves. Where are my gloves? My gloves that I got from my husband are so good. These are Isotoner brand gloves. And anytime it's cold outside, I have to put on gloves because my hands get chapped and I get cracks in the cuticles around my fingernails and they hurt so bad. So I am always in gloves when it's this cold outside. These are the perfect thickness. I can move my hands. I could grip my steering wheel. I could get something out of my purse. They do have this little leather strip right here, so has that magic in it. You can still work your phone, and these were so good. They actually came in a really pretty, like a deep maroon color. This is kind of a black and white speckled, and I believe there was a gray. So this is what I looked like when I went out today. So I only had a couple, but very specific items on my Christmas list. And I did pick out the items. I honestly didn't even look for the items. I just knew what I wanted. I gave my husband and my daughter the details, and like I said earlier, they totally nailed it. So you all know, if you've been around for a while, that I got this purse when I was in Los Angeles. This is from Madewell, and I fell in love with this purse because of this gold magnetic closure right there. I just think that is so beautiful. It just says me all over it. And I've been wanting a new wallet. My wallet was really old and it was big and long from back when you used to carry your checkbook. Do you remember that? Nobody carries a checkbook anymore. And because I'm using smaller purses, my wallet wouldn't fit inside of most of my purses. So I told my husband and daughters I wanted a wallet. I wanted something small. It needed to be able to hold my credit cards, my insurance cards, you know, all that stuff, some money. I don't really care about coins. I honestly never have coins, but I just needed it to be small. And look what my daughter gave me. It is the matching wallet to the purse with the same gold, beautiful gold, kind of knobby looking thing. I did not even know that Madewell made this wallet. It's a leather wallet. It comes in several different colors and it perfectly holds exactly what I need. Just a few cards, my money here, and there is a little change purse on the side, and it is so cute. So small, so perfect. It fits inside all of my purses, and I love that it matches my Madewell purse. But today at the grocery store was the first time that I actually used the wallet, and it just made me happy when I pulled it out. Love that little gold little detail there. So I've been wanting a new set of coffee mugs. So I had nothing but a collection of just mismatched coffee mugs that I had collected over the years that I just were not making me happy. I wanted a set of really nice coffee mugs. When I open my cabinet in the morning, I want to go, oh, okay, let's get a coffee mug. So I told my daughters I'm super picky about the handle. My entire hand has to fit in. It has to be a large enough mug to hold the 12 ounces of coffee that I make in my Keurig, plus some cream, and I just want it to be nice. I don't want it to be plain white, but I don't want a pattern on it either. And my daughter found the perfect coffee mug. So these are from Crate and Barrel. They have a perfectly shaped handle. They have a little scalloped edge on the top, which just gives them a little bit of something something rather than just, a factory made coffee mug. And it might be hard for you to see, but there's kind of a dimpled wavy pattern in the cup itself. So it is solid white, but the little dimples give it kind of a shaded effect, and the cup isn't straight up and down. You can see it kind of goes at a little bit of an angle there. These are so perfect, and they came in a set of 6, so now my coffee cabinet, when I open it, just looks perfect, and I've been enjoying my cup of coffee every single morning, and my daughter and son-in-law had their coffee out of these as well. So cute. And since I love my morning cup of coffee, and I grind my own coffee beans, our coffee grinder was really old and so loud. Like, I just hated every couple of days using that coffee grinder because I would hit the button and run out of the room because it had this high-pitched, loud sound. It was old, granted, but I knew I wanted a new coffee grinder. So I told my husband, I love the coffee grinder. I don't need anything fancy, but I need one that is quiet. And look what he found for me. Y'all, I just can't even tell you how quiet this is. I'm going to grind some coffee for you now and let you hear this. It is amazing. And you can set how coarse or fine you want your coffee grounds here. You turn the dial and off it goes, and then you just pull out the little canister, and I put this in my airtight canister that keeps my coffee beans. But the first time we did this, of course, he's just going by the description on Amazon. So we were really excited to see how quiet this was going to be. We all gathered around in the kitchen. My son-in-law was sitting on the couch having a phone conversation and never even knew that we turned this on. So now, y'all, my cup of coffee in the morning is so fabulous with my quiet coffee grinder and my brand new beautiful coffee mug. So a couple more things kitchen related because I love my kitchen stuff. My husband got me this adorable notepad. So what is so unique is on one side is what's for dinner, because I always plan out my meals before I go to the grocery. And then you have your shopping section, and the shopping area is broken down into categories. So you've got meat and dairy, produce, pantry, other. So when I was writing down my grocery list for today, I actually put things in the proper category. So when I was shopping, it was so much easier. I didn't have to keep searching through my list. Oh my gosh, where's my toiletry items? Because they were all together. This notepad is also perforated. So when I went to the grocery, I just tore off the grocery list part and left my what's for dinner attached, because I can't even tell you how many times my husband will say, what's for dinner? What are we having for dinner tonight? What's for dinner on Tuesday? What are we doing on Saturday? Now it's just written out right here, and he can stop asking me. But it's a great little notepad. Oh, I just realized this. And there's a magnet on the back. Totally changing topics. I needed a new travel tote bag. This is a bag that I'm going to carry with me on the plane. You all know I got some new luggage recently, but unfortunately, Quince does not make a tote bag. Like, why? So I found one on Amazon that I just think is so cute. So it comes in lots of colors. I got the chocolate brown. I needed a tote bag that did 2 things. I always take my laptop with me when I travel. So this has a separate compartment that is padded that will hold your laptop. I also needed my travel bag to have the strap on it so it will fit over the handle of my rolling like carry-on suitcase. I love that this is easy to clean. It is very light, has pockets on the outside so I can have my passport, my water, you know, my wallet, everything. I can throw it on my shoulder if I need to. Everything is easily accessible, and then I can just drop it right down on my luggage and off I go. So we have a trip coming up and I cannot wait to use this. So here's another funny story. It was Christmas Eve. We were at my in-laws' house and we were all sitting around getting ready to have dinner. And my two daughters, it's kind of like a bar stool type situation. So my two daughters were sitting in front of me, and I don't even know how the topic came up, but they were talking about they have no tan during the wintertime. And I said, well, I don't either. So my daughters each put one hand out in front and they were comparing their skin color in the dead of winter. And they said, Mom, put your hand out here. So I did. And I said, well, my skin color is about the same as y'all's, but oh my gosh, I do have some sunspots on my hands. My daughter had already bought this Christmas gift for me, and so I just led right into it. This is my favorite hand cream, Necessaire. I've been using their hand cream every night for years. It is the best hand cream, but this is the special version of their hand cream with retinol. So you do put this on only at night, and it is supposed to help with sunspots. So this is kind of a yellow looking lotion. First night I put it on, I was like, whoa, that's kind of a weird color. But in Necessaire tradition, this is so luxurious. It is vegan, it is cruelty free, it is like everything you want in your hand cream. And I'm excited to use this throughout the winter and help to get rid of some of those sunspots that I do have on the back of my hands. So my husband is always trying to be really smart when he gets me Christmas gifts, and he got me a cutting board. This is strictly for meat. So one side is stainless steel, the other side is made out of some kind of wheat product. You all know I have my wood cutting board that I use for fruits and vegetables and breads and cheeses and all the things, but I never put meat on that cutting board. And I was using, you know, you get in like a 6-pack, those little flimsy things. And so we threw all of those out, and now I have a designated meat cutting board. And the last gift I'm going to show you that I got for Christmas is my Renee notepad. My daughter knows that I love notepads. I just love to write things down. I love a to-do list. I love a list of any sort. So she ordered this notepad. It has my name on it. I'm going to keep this in the kitchen and just write all my favorite things on here, but so thoughtful. And it really is a big notepad. So pretty. So my daughters and I tried to be just as thoughtful on gifts for my husband as they were on gifts for me. I told you all in a secret video that I got him that ultrasonic retainer cleaner because he sleeps in a mouth guard. Y'all, he is obsessed with this thing. He has cleaned his mouth guard 4 times already. He said it was dirty. He was going to use it over and over and just get away the yuck, and then he was going to continue to use it to keep the mouth guard clean. I've put our toothbrushes in there. It is super quiet, only takes 5 minutes, and I feel so much better knowing that all of our things are really clean and sanitized. And I wasn't in there when he did his mouth guard the first time. We were still in the living room opening gifts, and he took off and went and put his knot guard in there. That is how excited my husband was to get this. So really highly recommend this ultrasonic retainer cleaner. And you all know my husband loves to cook. He has a pizza oven outside, and both of my daughters were just being so thoughtful when they got him these gifts. They gave him a mastering pizza cookbook. But it's not just pizza, it's handmade pizza, focaccia, and calzone. My husband has tried so many times to make a calzone in the pizza oven, and we can't figure out what's going wrong, but it is going wrong. And I'm always saying to him, please make some focaccia. Just please make some focaccia. And he's never done it. So this cookbook is absolutely perfect. It's going to walk him through all the steps and how to do all the things. And it even shows you oven pizza, like the perfect pizza dough to make in your house. You don't have to have a pizza oven to be able to use the cookbook. And I'm so excited for him to start making me all the things. And he also got a pizza oil. This is a jalapeno and herb flavored olive oil that you can drizzle on your finished pizza. You can use it in your sauce. Really, you could use this on anything. And my daughter got this for him because you all know we had game night and everybody had to bring a $30 gift to game night. and everybody in our family loves to cook. We're all into food, and so she got a fancy bottle of olive oil as her gift to bring to game night. And when she was online buying that, that's when she saw this jalapeno pizza oil and got it from my husband. I want to show you all one more thing, and then I have a story about game night. My husband makes his own pizza dough, homemade pizza dough. So my daughter got him these pizza dough boxes. They will hold 6 doughs per box, and he is so excited about this. He had just been putting the dough in a little plasticky thing like this, one by one, and that's not really great for your dough. So he watches all these pizza makers on Instagram and YouTube, and they all have these fancy dough boxes. Well, now he has them too. So my story about game night. We had game night over here. It was an absolute hoot. My game was left, right, center, and luckily nobody in my family had ever played left, right, center, so I had to explain the game. I bought the dice on Amazon. They're like $5, and they're wooden dice, and you have a hold, a star, a left, and a right. So everybody gets in a circle with coins or dollar bills or quarters or candy or whatever you want to do, and you play left, right, center. So if you want to know how to play left, right, center, I will link the video where I explain it all to you right up here in a card. I'll put it in the description box. I don't want to get into the game in this video, but let me just tell you that we had a ball. We had so much fun. We actually ended up playing this several different rounds, and we took it to my sister's house on Christmas Day and played 3 rounds over there with my sister and her family and her kids. We had a hoot. I'm telling you, an absolute hoot. For $5, this was the best fun we had, other than I almost peed my pants. So I'm totally getting off topic here, but it was time for game night to start. There's 6 of us, so we have 6 games. So my son-in-law says, let me go first. Let me just kick off game night. He had a drinking game. Oh my gosh, and it involved shots of tequila. And I said, I mean, like, I just don't know that I can do shots of tequila. I have not had a shot of anything in years and years and years. I am not a drinker. I can sip a little cocktail, but I'm certainly not a drinker. So we decided to do half shots to make it kind of easier on everybody. But anyway, so we played this first game. I had 3 half shots of tequila. We come into the kitchen. We're all standing here. My daughter is beside me, and I pick up, okay, so we're making like these Christmassy pomegranate little cocktail things, and she's making those. So we pick up the glasses and we cheers, and I went to say Merry Christmas, but I'd had 3 shots of tequila, and I said, happy birthday. I didn't even realize that I said happy birthday. Both of my daughters looked at me and said, Mom, happy birthday? And then I realized that I said happy birthday instead of Merry Christmas. I started laughing so hard. I was doubled over. I could not catch my breath, and I literally almost peed my pants. Like, I had my legs crossed to not pee in my pants. I could not catch my breath. I could not stop laughing. Everybody was laughing with me, and the entire Christmas holiday, instead of saying Merry Christmas, we all said happy birthday. Or if somebody was trying to be funny, we'd go happy birthday, or, you know, Christmas morning, happy birthday. It just became a freaking thing. So we went over to my sister's house. We told her what happened. Everybody over there started saying happy birthday. That dang tequila, my dang son-in-law, and this game, it was game night that started it off. But happy birthday was like the buzzword of the Christmas holidays. Okay, so back to Christmas. What else did my husband get? He got a throw blanket from me. So we got a new quilt comforter on our bed earlier. I guess it was kind of like late summer, and it's a bamboo comforter, and I absolutely love it. But as it's gotten really cold outside, my husband, like, we need another layer on the bed, and I didn't want something super thick. I didn't want like a cotton quilt. I needed something light, but I wanted it to be soft and fuzzy. So I actually bought him this fleece throw blanket for our bed. So I love that I can keep it folded up at the foot of the bed. When we get in, we can pull it up, we can keep it at our waist, we can snuggle up wherever we want to put it based on how warm or cold we are. If he is cold, he can have it on. I can kind of pull it off me, and then in the morning when I make the bed, it just becomes a throw at the end of the bed. Came in a ton of colors. I could not decide which one to get, but the one that I chose just kind of perfectly blends in with our comforter set, with our throw pillows. It's beautiful. This is not a super thick throw. It's fleece and it may look really thick, but it is on the thinner side, which is exactly what we were looking for, and my husband loves it. And my husband got his turtle box. He has been dying for one of these for the past couple years. It is a fancy speaker. It is an outdoor speaker. And let me tell you, we used this in the house last night and it rocks. We were jamming. He had this set up here on the kitchen counter. We were in the utility room doing some, home repairs and cleaning the house because my daughter and son-in-law just left yesterday morning, and we were rocking out to this turtle speaker. So this really can be indoors, outdoors, anywhere, everywhere. My husband loves it. He just thinks it looks really, really cool. It had incredible sound and volume, and we are going to rock it out at the pool this summer. And you all already know that I put one of these deodorizers in my husband's stocking. This is actually the one from our fridge because my husband's at work today and he's already put his in his truck. He eats lunch in his truck. He's in and out of his truck. He has tools in his truck. It could be, wet. You just never know. And so he wanted one of these to just get rid of the odors that kind of accumulate in his truck. So he was really excited when he pulled this out of his stocking. And then there's Maxie, Lola, and Pollux. And of course, Santa came to see them too, and they had gifts under the tree. You all know Maxie does not love toys. He is a boy all about his treats. So there was a big bag of his favorite dog treats, blueberry, in his stocking. I love these treats because they're very natural. They smell like real berries. They are made from real berries. They're the perfect little size treat. There is peanut butter. There's also apple. And I kind of go back and forth between mixed berry and peanut butter, but this is what Maxie had in his stocking. Lola had a couple things in her stocking. This is her favorite toy. Believe it or not, we have gone through like 3 or 4 of these. Pollux tears up Lola's toy every single time, but Lola does not tear up the toy. So we just keep buying this over and over, and Pollux actually did this. He tore half of the face off just yesterday and pulled out the squeaker. But Lola will put this toy in her mouth, run around the house, she'll toss it up in the air, she'll lay with it. She loves the squeaky, and this is just her favorite all-time toy. So she had one in her stocking. Lola also had one of these little balls, and what's so really cool about this is made almost of like a Nerf football material. It is squishy, but it's hard inside, and it has a rope. So this ball has a mechanism inside that will make it like bounce and kind of jostle along the floor, and you can set it where there's a timer inside. So it'll do this for 5 minutes and then stop for 15 and then do it again, and whatever the setting is. But she will play with this when it's not activated. She's not quite sure about it when it's activated. It takes her just a second, but she is loving this toy, and it's so much fun, and I love that this is soft and squishy. We've had one of these before, but the ball was hard, and the dogs didn't like it because they really couldn't put their mouth on it because it was hard, but she loves these little dots and grip texture, and she's running around the house with this and this all day long. Pollux and Lola also got new chew toys. These are made of plant-based material, so they can chew on these in place of a rawhide or any kind of other hard bone. They don't splinter. If the dog does get really tough, it will just kind of break off in little flakes, but it is 100% plant-based, so it's okay if they do ingest a little bit. They have a rough texture on them. One side is smooth, and they come in a set of 2. So the dogs just are playing with these. They pass them around. This has been their go-to since they got these in their stocking. Highly recommend these. These are really cool. But the one gift that all 3 dogs got is this really cool lick toy bowl. So I saw somebody on TikTok with one of these and had to get it for the dogs. Lola just heard me pull it out and she's in here thinking she's going to get something. But it has this ball in here that has a texture to it. So these are really heavy, made of silicone so they don't scoot around on the ground. And when you snap it open, the ball comes out. So you have this container here and you fill it with any kind of wet, soft food. So I've been doing Greek yogurt, peanut butter, a mashed up banana, chicken broth, bone broth, anything that makes this kind of liquidy. You just fill this up, drop the ball in, snap on the silicone lid, and when the dog licks the ball, it's pulling that liquid from underneath into the top, and it keeps them occupied for such a long time. It is incredible. So I fill up all 3 lick mats, put them throughout the kitchen, and the dogs will stay here for over an hour just licking, 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 licking. It gives them mental stimulation. It keeps them entertained. They're excited. And Lola will lick hers completely dry and she'll just lay down and just continue to lick. I think she just likes licking the ball. I will say my only comment about this is the ball itself is kind of heavy. So Maxie, because he's a senior dog, he doesn't lick near as long. It takes him, it's a little more effort to get this ball to turn. So I kind of have to stay in the kitchen. He'll lick the ball and then I take a fork and get in these prongs and turn it and, you know, gets the stuff on the top and then he'll lick it just a little bit more and then I'll turn it and he'll lick it. So I do kind of have to help him, but Lola and Pollux are all about this. They are loving these lick toy mat bowl things. So that's what all we got and gave for Christmas. Everything that was on my Christmas list, I got it. I think my husband could say the same. The dogs, they're super happy too. And yeah, now we're looking forward to moving into the new year. Freezing cold weather here. I've got all my hoodies ready to go. We hunkered down last night and watched Landman. Are you all watching that? If you noticed my hairstyle today, I've got a couple little wispies right here. I'm trying to channel Ariana, which is the son's girlfriend on Landman. I think she is the cutest little thing and has the cutest little hair when she has it pulled back in a clip with the little wispies. My bangs aren't long enough to put them in a clip, so I just have a little kind of clear bandy thing right there, but I'm trying the little wispies, and I'm channeling Ariana today from Landman. So let me know what you all think about the hair. I just needed it out of my face because I have on the hood and it's freezing cold. I just couldn't handle all the hair hanging down today. So now that I've shared everything with you all that we got for Christmas, it's time for me to head to a nail appointment. See you later.